So in spite of what you've probably been told, carbs are not your enemy. However, they're not all created equal. You're going to want to try to stay away from the simple sugars and refined carbohydrates. So that's your white breads, your not whole grain pastas, your candy, obviously. That one's a pretty obvious one. And on the flip side, you'll want to have complex carbohydrates. And what makes them complex is their fiber content. The more in their whole form, the better. So if something's milled or broken down, it's not as ideal. This is where your potatoes, like your starchy vegetables, come in. And the reason complex carbohydrates are better than simple sugars and refined carbohydrates break down into sugar, and because of that fiber content, it'll break down slower in your body and won't cause an immediate blood sugar spike or rush of insulin, which in the long term can cause insulin resistance. But nobody is perfect. So, if you've been doing good all week and you really want to have a cookie, go ahead and have a cookie. It's not going to kill you. So while carbohydrates aren't necessarily a bad thing for weight loss, some people tolerate carbs better than others. And this is where you kind of have to test different fat to carb ratios out and see what works for you. And really the best way to see if you don't tolerate carbs well is just to be self-aware and notice how you feel after you have different types of carbohydrates. You'll probably notice that those complex carbohydrates aren't going to cause the same crash as having refined carbohydrates. And in some instances, simple carbohydrates are a good thing. That's sort of out of the scope of this video. An important thing you can gain from eating carbohydrates is fiber. Complex carbohydrates contain lots of fiber, and fiber is really important for you to feel satiated. It's important for your gut health, which affects so many things, even your brain. While complex carbohydrates can help control your insulin response, your energy levels, and your body composition. So yes, eating carbs can help you look sexy.